Jeremy Cordon, founder and CEO of Goldbacks Inc., is passionate about precious metals and sound money. During an internship at the Libertas Institute, he connected with Larry Hilton, which led to a role at the United Precious Metals Association. There, he helped grow membership from 400 to 25,000. Jeremy later focused his efforts on creating Goldbacks, a physical gold currency designed to preserve wealth and strengthen local economies. Under his leadership, Goldbacks has expanded to multiple state series, empowering individuals and communities with a practical tool for financial stability. What's up, my financially intentional people? So today we're joined with Jeremy, who's going to tell us about gold standard and gold. In general, gold is something that I know nothing about except that I like really nice gold jewelry. And sometimes my family uses gold as an investment as far as like buying gold jewelry and passing that down to family members. But other than that, I pretty much know nothing. So I'm super excited to have Jeremy explain gold to us and historical value and all of the great things that we need to learn. So thank you, Jeremy, so much for joining me.
No, I appreciate being here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Give me a little bit about your background. What got you started in this industry?
I really got started in this industry when I was maybe 21 years old. I was young and just trying to figure things out. And I ended up following this kind of libertarian campaign for presidency with Ron Paul. Okay. And he talked all about gold, and it just got me fascinated. So I've been sticking with it ever since.
That is very interesting. And you don't look too much young, too much older than 21 right now. So I'm sure that wasn't too long ago, but I know when that Ron Paul campaign was.
It was a while ago. I'm getting older. I'm not the youngest person in the room anymore.
I know, doesn't that suck? Like, I'm definitely on the OG side of the room, and it's making me feel some kind of way.
How does it feel meeting adults that were born after year 2000?
Exactly. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. So it's like I'm delivering those babies of the people who were born after I graduated from college.
And you point that out to them or you make a comment and they're like, oh, sorry, you're old, I guess. You know, sounds like she's from the 1900s.
Oh my God, the kids do say that. Oh my God, you're from the 1900s. And you're like, first of all, that wasn't that long ago. And then you're like, okay, that was 25 years ago.
That was a quarter of a century ago.
Oops.
Time flies.
Moving right along. But okay, so you got interested in gold and like, where did your like studies and your research, like where did that take you? What did you learn?
This was like from the political science perspective, right? Gold is a financial instrument, as a monetary instrument, as money. I thought the gold standard was interesting. Yeah, I found a lot of gold companies back then. The way they sold gold is it was some kind of scary sales pitch. Oh, the dollar's going to fall apart and then you won't have anything. And gold always is worth something, so you better get it. And that's probably been the main sales pitch for gold for 40 years. Yeah. And what was so fascinating to me about gold was I wanted to find a way that people could use it as money, how we could make gold a little bit more functional than it is right now. And you opened with saying that you don't know anything about gold, but I could see you're wearing gold.
I love gold.
I look at you and I see gold.
This is fake, but this is like real, like gold bangles. But like I said, so my stepmom is from Somalia and that's how they pass down wealth. It's through jewelry. And so they buy gold pieces and yes.
Yeah.
There's if anything happens, you could sell this and then you'll never
You're wearing your wealth. You are wearing your wealth. And in India, they do the same thing. Yes. They deck out brides with gold. Husbands in India aren't allowed to take their wives' gold. Oh. Once they gift their wife gold, there's not a lot of women's rights in India. Right? Exactly. It's not like a women's rights heavy area.
Yes.
But men aren't legally allowed to take their wives' gold. If you give your wife gold as a gift and she wears it, it's hers. That's her gold. And the idea is if something happens to you as the breadwinner, the wife can pawn off the gold or sell it and take care of the kids and herself and everything else. And a well taken care of woman wears a lot of gold. That's been a tradition for thousands of years. So I think there's something to it. They still do it. In the West, we're a little bit more divorced from our gold. Gold is something grandpa has, and it's behind the sheetrock. And after grandpa dies, the contractors, when they're tearing down the house in 50 years, will find it. We're not wearing it as much as we used to, I guess, in more kind of Western countries. But the value is always there. Mm-hmm. Gold always retains value. Mm-hmm. And what we do at Goldback is we actually take gold, we split it into 1,000 pieces. Ooh. And we turn it into these bills that people can put in their wallets. They work really well in any woman's wallet. And they can carry them around and they can...
That is fly.
Yeah, this is $8 worth of gold right here.
Wow.
So that's one. That's 1,000th of an ounce.
I love that. And it's cute. It's real cute too.
So this one's a 2. It's got twice as much gold in it.
Oh, wow.
That's 1/500th of an ounce.
Wow.
About $16.
Wait, are you in Oklahoma? Is that why it says?
No, that series from Oklahoma. So there's different designs for Goldbacks. There's a Florida one, an Oklahoma one. Arizona's coming out in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. People buy these all over the world.
I love that. Those are really pretty. And I love 24 karat gold. It's my thing. But can we talk about historically what's happened in America? I know loosely, and like I said, it's so out of my realm of like understanding. Like I just have historical knowledge, but I just shove it aside. We went away from the gold standard. Therefore, we can print money. Therefore, we have all this inflation. I know what that is like in theory. Sure. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah. So a long time ago, it used to be that if something costed 5 cents, it just always costs 5 cents. And it's the same price for like 100 years. Mm-hmm. And 5 cents would be a nickel. We had a money system. We had copper pennies and then silver coinage. And then it would lead up to this $20 1 ounce gold piece. And it was all pegged together. And that kept the value of money relatively stable. So just things always costed the same. You buy a house for, I don't know, $1,000. You sell the house 30 years later for $950 because it's worn out. You know what I mean? That's how money worked. And inflation it's a newer thing. Before it happened in war, during the Civil War, there was rampant inflation, but they were also off the gold system. And, our money has been off the gold standard since the 70s. And over the last 100 years, the dollar has lost something like 99% of its purchasing power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's wild. And then prices are through the roof. Yeah. What was the rationale for going away from the gold standard? Is it to borrow more money to fund more wars?
It was the Vietnam War.
Yeah, I knew it was.
They were printing money to pay for the war. And what's easy in World War II, they sold bonds for the war. They had to convince the American public, we need this money to go to war. And this war is really important. And in Vietnam, they just started printing. But the amount of gold backing the money didn't change. So other countries started saying, hey, wait a minute, we think you're printing a lot. Can we just get the gold? We just want to turn these notes and get the gold. And Nixon freaked out and stopped everyone from doing that. And we've been off the standard ever since.
Oh, wow. I knew it had to do something with the war and money and everything, but war always goes back to money.
Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Imagine that everything is measured with feet, right? We have rulers and we measure everything. And you could say, hey, your house is 3,000 square feet. But every year we got that measuring stick. We got the universal ruler that we all made our rulers based off of, and we shaved a little nick off of it. So now the standard of a foot is now shorter than it used to be. Then you have to remeasure everything. And I might say, okay, you're no longer 5'10", now you're 6'1". And you no longer have a 3,000 square foot house, now you have a 3,200 square foot house. And then you start saying ridiculous things like, your house has really grown a lot. And you're really getting taller.
Yeah.
Why is everyone getting taller? Why are all the houses expanding? Why are all the distances between cities growing? It's like, well, no, it's just you're changing your measurement and you're remeasuring things every year. And that's what we're doing with the dollar. Okay, so you remember the movie Home Alone? You ever see that movie? Came out the year I was born, like a 1990 classic. And yeah, it takes place right there. They got the McMansion there. That was a normal standard of living. That was a normal middle class standard of living. You have one income earner in the home. He's like an accountant or something. Who knows? He's taking his family on this big out of state trip. Extended family, everybody. Just one guy, big house, one income. That was normal.
With those kids, not to mention all those kids.
All those kids. And that was normal. You watch a show like The Simpsons. You have one dad that didn't go to college or finish college. He owns a home. They've got a family car and there's one income. And that was just normal.
Yeah.
That wasn't the exception. That was the rule. Everybody gets a house. And the truth is that if you had a 6-figure job 30 years ago, that would have the buying power of making $500,000 a year right now. So all the houses have gotten bigger. We've been shaving off this measuring stick. And people learn, they grow up in the 90s and they think, hey, I want a 6-figure job someday because then I can really take care of myself. And you finally get to that 6-figure job and I can't even buy a house. I can't go on vacation. I can't afford to put my kids in private school. Everything costs a fortune. Why is everyone so greedy? You know, why is everything so expensive? Your measuring unit is worth less. So not everything's growing. Everyone's becoming more poor. Part of the reason behind doing Goldback is I figured if enough people were to use these, and there's businesses that take these, there's people that trade with these, they barter with them, they bring them in their wallets. It's got this whole alternative currency use. If enough people do this, you don't have to worry about inflation anymore. You know, when these came out, they were like $2. That was 6 years ago. Today, they're $8.
Yeah.
So anyone that's saved in Goldbacks, anyone that's bought them has done really well. They've kept their value. Anyone that's had dollars, not so well. In fact, gold was the measure that everything was measured against. And if you measure things in gold today, the stock market has been a bear market since the year 2000, if you measure it in gold. Yeah, the stocks are going up in dollar cost, but everything goes up in dollar cost because dollars are losing their value. If your returns if you're getting a 2 or 3% return and the dollar loses 10% of its value a year, then you're still losing 7%.
Yeah.
You're never going to compound your interest your way out of that. If you make 8% in the stock market, inflation's 10%, you lost 2.
But because everything is valued in the dollar and that's how the stock market is run and all of these kind of things, then how do we transition into a system that goes back to gold in like for the masses? Are you just, this is a solution for people who just really want to hold real value?
Yeah. So the sales pitch, again, for gold for 40 years, it's been something, oh, the dollar's failing and gold's this bunker you can crawl into. And when the dollar totally falls apart, you can crawl out of your bunker and be okay. You buy gold, it's an inflation hedge, you hide in it, and then you get dollars down the road and you dodge some inflation, you'll pay your capital gains, and that's it. What people are doing with Goldbacks is very different from that. Because they're going to garage sales and farmers markets and small businesses, and they're saying, hey, can I pay you with gold instead? And they're just not using dollars, which means you don't have to have as many dollars, which means you're getting hit less bad by inflation. Your savings are keeping its value.
Okay. So practical, like on this, right? We don't get paid in Goldbacks, we get paid in cash, right? Ideally, if we take our dollars and buy gold back right now, we're essentially losing money.
No, because Goldbacks, they've gone from being worth $2 to being worth $8 in 6 years.
But gold does fluctuate up and down, and it does a little everything bit. Else, right?
But the dollar only goes down.
Okay.
So if you save in dollars, so there's a lady that lived across from my grandmother, old Jewish lady. This is the Bay Area. And this is back in the 60s, back when the dollar was stable. Inflation wasn't really a thing yet. She took $2,000 in cash and she put it in a mason jar and stuck it down in her basement. It's like, between the wall and the foundation or something. They pulled that jar out when she died a few years ago. And when she put that jar there, $2,000 was good enough for a down payment on a house in that area. There's a lot of money. It was supposed to take care of her when she was old. That's not a 10% down payment on a Honda Prius now.
Sure ain't.
It's gone. But had she put gold in that jar instead, it could still
would have risen. Yeah.
On a house in that area. So gold is the better savings tool. The Goldback, it has that property. It follows the gold price, but it's a much more easy entry into gold. You could give one of these to your niece or your nephew or your kids for $8 for giving them a savings bond, like a little savings bond. This is something that'll keep its value over time, and you can spend it as is if you feel brave at a garage sale.
Okay.
And there's businesses that take these. We got thousands of them across the United States too.
Yeah, can we talk about like the businesses that take them? Because people are like, they don't take them on Amazon or at Target. So what's the practical everyday use of it?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to spend it at Target. And that was one of the first objections I got to these. People say, oh, that's really cool. And that's a cool idea. And that's really cute. And I do love gold. And that is pretty. But what would I do with it? But what's it? But like, I have it, but now what? And normally for gold, the only thing you can do with it is you can sell it back to a coin dealer and get cash. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the only trick. Or you can die with it or lose it. That's it. So what we did is we started talking to business owners and we said, hey, if somebody came into your business and they offered to pay you with gold instead, would you take it? And I was hoping that 5-10% of business owners would go for it because maybe they like the gold standard and they're history buffs, or they like gold. And I was hoping to find my people to put this list together. Do you care to guess how many business owners were willing to take gold as payment?
You said you have thousands.
It was thousands. It was half.
Oh, wow.
Small business owners that, not the receptionist, not the girl on the phone or behind the front desk, but when you talk to the business owner, half of small business owners are willing to take payment in gold. So we put up a featured list. It's on our website. You can go to Pay in Goldbacks on goldback.com, and you can find businesses in your area that are willing to take payment in gold. That's not where most people are even spending Goldbacks. Most people have them in their wallet, and opportunities come up. They leave them as a gift or a tip, or they send them to your nephew in the mail, or they find uses for them. So you can spend them, or you can save them and spend them later or turn them into cash. So you've got options.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right? Say grandma would have put that $2,000 instead into the stock market and just let it compound in like an index fund or a mutual fund back then, and just let it compound. That would probably be enough for a down payment right now.
That's true.
But you're saying gold is like a better alternative than cash in hand because of the growth.
Cash in hand loses value. And if you have cash in hand, it's great to be liquid. It's great to have cash for convenience. It's not a very good savings tool because it loses value so quick.
Yes, exactly.
So if you talk to Warren Buffett says gold sucks. You pay $1 million to get it out of the ground. You pay $1 million to stick it back in a vault. So out of the ground and back into the ground. And if you owned all of it, you'd have a shiny cube and it doesn't do anything for you. Right? Because you don't, what's the dividend on gold? Is gold making dividend payments?
No, it's not making dividends.
No, it's not making dividend payments. So what kind of investment is that? I'd say it's not really an investment in that sense.
It's not, yes. But it's a solid savings tool as opposed to just the dollar.
It's another form of money. And we try to make gold a better form of money, but this isn't paying dividends. This isn't equivalent to a stock. A stock market might go up and down. It might pay dividends. You know, I learned recently that if you price the stock market in gold, it's lost value over 25 years. It's not keeping up with inflation very much lately, at least the US stock market. That's not to say that there aren't great investment opportunities that will pay returns. You could buy a rental. And right now, because saving is so bad, because people lose so much value with inflation, I think it's pushing more people to invest more aggressively, and that reduces everyone's returns because everything's so saturated. There's too many people buying the stock. It's overpriced. There's too many people in the rental market. The houses are overpriced. So you have this everything bubble going on, and gold it's this multi-trillion-dollar market, but I don't think it's too bubbly.
No, I like it. I like it as a different form of savings. Like, I think it's a great form of diversification. And not to mention, they're super pretty and I love gold. So naturally attracted to it. But also, I think it's genius to create this marketplace for it, because now you have a use case of, yes, and you can use it in all these institutions, all these people take it, and it's not losing its value like it would if you were to spend money there. So I really love that as a concept, and it makes a lot of sense.
We're so sure that people, if you handle a gold back in person, if you look at it up close, we're so sure that people will like them. We're willing to give them to people for free.
What? I'll take one. Thank you.
So we have a website. We have a website called freegoldback.com. And you can go there, and all you have to do is give us your address, and we will mail you a gold back at no charge.
Okay. So so this sounds like a loss leader. So what usually happens in the back end?
It's like samples, right? You go to Costco, you get a free sample, and they're sure enough that if they give a sample to 1,000 people, enough people will buy the product where it's worth it.
Yeah.
So what you get is a $4 gold product. No charge, no shipping costs, no credit card information, nothing. And we'll just send it to your house.
What is it? Freegoldbacks?
Freegoldback.com. No
Goldback. Oh, that's why.
There's two different designs. One design is for Florida, and the second design is Oklahoma. We got Arizona coming out in a couple weeks too. I want to do California really bad. In fact, we got more people buying Goldbacks in California than any other state. We've already done some artwork for California. It's good looking. Okay, so I've got this one right here.
Ooh.
This is Oklahoma history. This is the Chisholm Trail.
Oh, okay. I like that one. Okay.
So that's one of the halves that's available for free. Here's the other one. This is like a conquistador exploring in Florida.
I love the women on the money. Come on.
All of them are women.
Let's go. Let's go. I love that.
It used to only be women on the money in America. And the reason why is because virtues are depicted as women. So Lady Liberty is an example of a virtue. Lady Liberty's a woman, right? Lady Justice, she's a woman. So we followed that tradition with the Goldbacks and paying tribute to these state histories, and we always use women to depict the virtues. So it's always women.
I love that. I love that. I want to talk like more, how many people actually are using your product, and how many people do you think use like gold, like other forms of gold? I know a lot of people use gold bars, gold jewelry. Like how prevalent do you think it is in the States?
So 10% of Americans own gold.
Okay.
And you figure that's about 35 million people. Whether it's jewelry or gold bars, 10% of Americans will check a box saying, I own gold. For Goldback, I think the number is probably closer to somewhere between 1 and 3 million people.
To use the gold, 1 in 3 million people
that own Goldbacks.
That own your Goldbacks.
That own
Nice.
Goldbacks.
Okay.
And by mintage numbers right now in new gold products coming out, we're the number one gold product in the United States by sheer numbers.
Wow. But that's because yours are so super just like accessible. Like you don't have to carry around a brick.
Yeah. It's easier for me to sell one of these than it is for somebody else to sell a 1 ounce gold coin that's $4,200.
Wow.
But yeah, I have more of these than they have 1 ounce coins. It's like the same.
Yeah. I'm really shocked by those numbers. I'm just like, that is incredible. I love that.
Yeah. So it's going, and it just lowers the barrier for people getting into gold. For $8, for $4, freegoldback.com for free. You can own gold for the first time. For $4, you can turn anyone into someone that owns gold. One of my favorite things to do with Goldbacks is just give them out as tips. Tipping culture has just gotten so awful lately. You know what I mean? Yeah, you go to Starbucks. Oh, this is going to ask you a few questions. And they get you. I like started paying in cash just so they'd stop doing that to me.
100%.
And it's just, I don't like it. The whole thing's awkward. And I started just saying, hey, you know what? You did a really great job. And I really like your shop. Has anyone given you a piece of gold before? What? A piece of, no. What do you mean? I pull this out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a piece of gold if you're cool with that.
But how many people think like it's like fake?
Maybe 1 in 10.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 in 10 people, it's like you like put a snake in them. They're like, oh, I don't know. But, you know, like 9 out of 10, they're like, that's so cool. I love gold and I'm wearing gold and gold's awesome. And that is so cool. I had one guy, this happened in Tennessee at the Gaylord. He's doing ice cream for me and I wanted to give him one of these. I've gotten hooked on it. So he makes me this ice cream and I gave him a Goldback as a tip. This guy was so funny. There's this black guy. He got so excited. He's, oh, this is like really, really, you're serious. He bought my ice cream.
Aww.
He wouldn't let me pay for the ice cream. He's like, I got you, you're okay. Better service.
Yeah.
You would never get that for $2.
I love that as an idea. And I love that as like birthday present gifts. Because what I usually do for birthday presents is I usually give them like $20, $40 like in cash and then put in the envelope, like these are the instructions on how to open a brokerage account. And if you put this money in an account, right? But how many people really do that versus if I put the gold in there, they put the gold up. Like I really love that. And then they can regift it or do it, whatever they want with it later.
You're giving them an asset.
Yes. No, I love that. I love that. Yeah. And I love that for tipping as well. So yeah, I got some use cases for it. So I'm definitely going to be visiting and getting me some Goldbacks along with my free sample.
I like garage sales too. You go to a garage sale and 80% of what they don't sell is either going back into the house begrudgingly because they didn't want it, or they have to drive to the thrift store to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to get insulted. People don't like being offered 5% of the retail value in cash. They would rather drive it to the thrift store than give it to you for 90% off.
Exactly. Which is,
I get it. People are spiteful. They're like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How dare you? You'll give it away. You'll give it away. But you go with one of these, you go with a Goldback, farmers markets too, and you offer to do a trade. Hey, would you do a trade? I'll give you a piece of gold for your, I don't know, diving fins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People take it 9 out of 10 times.
Nice.
Because it's, do I want the diving fins or do I want a piece of gold? They'll take the gold. And then it's just people, you gave them something that's going to go up in value. Nobody got ripped off. You got something of value too. We know people are using Goldbacks in transactions. We have a little calculator on goldback.com if you want to calculate how many Goldbacks you'd owe somebody for something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Last year, it was used 160,000 times.
Wow.
So we know people are doing this.
Yeah, they're actually using it. Yeah.
That's and most of the time, I don't use a calculator. Mm-hmm. So it's probably just the tip of the iceberg.
I'm just so intrigued. I'm like, I'm learning so much. Oh, the website is beautiful. Let's talk about how it translates like in other countries, how much gold is used and how you see this spreading like globally.
So starting to spread. We have groups in Australia that are selling it, and the markets there is growing like crazy. In the UK too, we've got one dealer there. They used to sell a couple $1,000s worth a week. Now they're selling like $10,000 a week just recently. So sales have really started picking up outside of the United States. And people don't buy them because it's not like it says Oklahoma, so they don't want to buy it in Australia or the UK. People just buy them. And it's universal. It's 24 karat gold, and that has value everywhere.
But how do people like know the value of it?
You can see it on goldback.com. We'll put a price up there that people trade with.
Okay. But I'm curious, like, how are they made? Like, how do you mint these?
So they're made through a process called vacuum deposition. It's not like a big penny roller. Like they're not like getting folded out. And vacuum deposition is the same technology that puts a layer of gold in Oakley sunglasses.
Okay.
So it's a big room. They suck all the air out. There's a big 50-pound target of gold that gets hit with a laser. And all this gold ends up in a cloud, and they roll plastic through, and they coat a polymer with gold, and they seal it. It's like a gold sandwich where there's a layer of plastic on one side, there's a layer of plastic on the other. You're talking about $5-10 million worth of equipment to do this. You're talking about a decade of expertise. We've got a dozen different anti-counterfeiting features in the Goldback. And we do that because if you're dealing with little gold bars or even gold jewelry, you have to take someone's word for it that it's real gold. Maybe a jeweler would know, or a pawn shop owner would know if it's real gold or not. But there's fakes and there's counterfeits, and it makes it dangerous if somebody wanted to trade you a gold necklace for something. It's like, you don't really know if that's a gold necklace or not.
Right.
But for a Goldback, you always know that it's gold. So having that confidence in it makes it easier to trade with.
So it's the same thing like when they just, like you said, coat glasses, cloak jewelry, it's the same process. It just, but that's pure gold. So there's like nothing that's plated in it. It's a gold plate and then it's just covered to keep it safe. So how durable are they? I see the image of it like floating in water on the website. So
they're tough. They're a lot tougher than a dollar because they've got not one, but 2 layers of plastic.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But probably take 10,000 years to decompose. You'd have to beat the snot out of it. And we warranty them. If they get bent or whatever and you want a new one, we'll give you a new one.
Nice. Okay. That was the next question. You can turn a ripped dollar back into the bank. Okay. That's cool that you guys warranty them. Wow. Like, I'm just really impressed. First of all, it's just so amazing to look at. And I think that has something to do with the way that we're wired. Like, we're drawn towards these shiny objects. Dollars, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, you look at a 1 ounce gold coin, that's $4,200. And you're paying a lot for that kind of allure, the brilliant, you have to look at it. This guy right here has 9 times the surface area of a 1 ounce gold coin for $8. And I think that's a big part of the secret for Goldbacks is people look at them and they're pretty and they want them. They don't have to be some libertarian poli-sci dork that, is like following inflation. Theoretically, if people just see it and they say, okay, that's pretty, that's attractive, I want that, that's a really good quality to have in money. Yeah.
You're bringing gold back to the mainstream, and I really, really love it. Like me and my marketing brain is thinking, how do I market this to my audience? And it's not, it does the work itself. It's all you have to say is
Goldback itself does all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, it's like, what would you do if you got this? Boom, pull out, everybody be like, wow.
We've sold $350 million worth of these.
Wow. Okay. So how much are you going to pay me to be your Instagram influencer? No, just
Hey, you know what? In the first $50 million worth we sold, guess how much we spent on marketing?
0.
$100,000.
Oh, okay.
For $50 million in product sales.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And you know what? Most of that time we were sold out.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Well, people want them. That's the bottom line. They see them, they're cool, and they want them. And we started right before COVID. Mm-hmm. COVID hit, everyone's worried. They're buying up all the toilet paper. They're buying up everything that's not nailed down. People have a lot of anxiety about the economy, about meeting their needs. And you come out with a gold-based currency that's inflation-proof during COVID. Yeah, we were sold out like almost all of COVID.
Awesome. And you get sales this all out because you could only produce so much at a time.
Yeah,
right?
we had to put a lot of money into scaling up our production. So it's not a huge issue now. Mm-hmm. There were time periods where not only were Goldbacks sold out, but the only place you could buy them was on eBay, and they were like $50 a piece.
Oh, people were reselling them. Oh, see, there's another market for it.
People pay what they think it's worth. The value perception is higher than $8.
Nice. So as like a business side, like how do you make money off of printing gold? So like the gold that you buy, break it down for me because I'm so confused.
Sure. We've got a few different ones of these. So these ones are actually manufactured at a loss.
Okay.
But it's part of a series. Mm-hmm. So there's a 1, there's a half, there's a 2, there's a 5, and it goes all the way up to 100. Mm-hmm. And they have an interchangeable amount of gold. So if a 1 has 1,000th of an ounce, the 100 has 1/10 of an ounce because that's 100 times as much gold. Mm-hmm. The 1 denomination, let's say we break even on this guy. Mm-hmm. It costs money to split an ounce of gold into 1,000 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs money to have all the any security features, and it costs money to distribute it and
Mm-hmm.
get everybody paid.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a very profitable product.
Mm-hmm.
But the 100 is, because instead of making 0% on the 100, maybe we make 20 or 25% on the 100.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we'll sell the 100 for $800.
Mm-hmm.
You can trade that 100 for 100 of these guys.
Okay.
And the average amount of money that we make on Goldbacks is enough to run the company. So we just make it on the initial sale, and people can sell Goldbacks back for cash to one of any 400 different distributors that sell them, and there's liquidity there.
So do you save your money in gold? Do you like get all the cash and then buy bricks and then like
I've been doing that really consistently. I own quite a bit of Goldbacks. My philosophy is you don't have a good product if you don't buy it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you should probably eat what you make.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a really good chunk of savings in Goldbacks. I was buying them when they were $2, $3, and now they're worth $8.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's companies, one of them's Alpine Gold, where you can buy Goldbacks. They'll vault them for you for free, and they'll let you liquidate them with no spread for up to $10,000 in 30 days.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
It's like a checking account with Goldbacks.
Well, that's pretty cool. I love that. Wow.
If you don't want to carry them around.
Yeah. This is opening up a whole new world for me, and I'm excited for it. And I love it. It just helps me understand, again, inflation and just for the future. Like, what are your predictions about gold usage versus like the stock market, for example?
Like I said, I think a lot of people buy into the stock market because they don't want to save cash, because if you save cash, you're losing. And everybody knows it. And they'll tell you that. So don't save cash. You need to invest. All this money is being invested. And I think that there's a limited amount of investment opportunities that are good. And I think what that does is it artificially inflates the price of things beyond what their value should probably be. And then you have all that risk that's not quite priced in. You're hoping to get that 1% dividend check, that 2% dividend check. I had an aunt, she wanted to sell off stocks in a rental, like an apartment building. I was doing the math, and it was like a 4% return. Okay, I can get a 4% return on apartment stocks, but what if there's a downturn in the market? Like there might be with real estate right now. It seems to be early stages of that. If the value goes down 50%, and not really getting a big enough return to justify that risk. So if there's no good opportunities, you take, you could save in cash, but then you're getting hit with all the inflation. I save in gold instead. My gold has doubled in value over the last few years.
That's 100% return if you didn't know.
If you measure it in dollars, but again, that's the growing problem. Every house is growing, every person's growing. I don't think my money grew at all. I think the dollar just loses value. And I'm in something that's not losing value, so I can save and invest another day when the opportunity is better.
Okay. All right. So Jeremy, this has been a great conversation. Can you just recap like the use cases for Goldbacks and where people can buy them?
Sure. So Goldback, it's a 1,000th of an ounce gold product. It's part of a whole currency series with multiple denominations. This is the most successful local currency product in the United States history. There's about $1/3 billion worth of them out there. There's millions of users as far as we can tell. You can learn more at goldback.com. We have a list of dealers that sell them. We just rank the list based off who's moving the most. So you can find out where to buy them on goldback.com. You can get a free one on freegoldback.com. So that's your freebie right there. And that's what Goldback is.
I love it. I love it. Like I said, I'll be getting my Goldbacks so I can use them for tips and for birthday presents. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I just think that they're pretty. I'm going to definitely keep some because I love them as gold. Like I love gold as jewelry because it's practical to me and makes sense to me. I used to have gold bars and all the gold coins and stuff, but it just kind of like sat there and I love it. And I'm going to start using it. And I hope my audience will too. So I appreciate you coming on, Jeremy, and enlightening us because I learned something new. And anytime I learn something new, it brightens up my day. So I'm really grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you too. I really appreciate you having me. This has been fun.
Thank you.